What is the worst thing that is legal? We've investigated ourselves and decided we didn't do anything wrong. I'm just gonna have to say little girls' beauty pageants. It just doesn't sit right with me. And not only because of the fact it's creepy, but I feel like it's stressful on the kid and on their body image. College book prices and practices. Change a few words in a math book, that'll be another $100 please. Oh, you realized that you can use the book from 10 years ago and succeed? Actually, we require you get the new book. Oh, you realized you can get the book cheaper from a friend? Actually, we're doing online books now and you need the personalized code. We change it every year even though there have been no breakthroughs in this subject. Knowing the college struggle, I have no fucking clue how this is allowed to exist. It should literally be illegal. The fact car radio commercials are allowed to have police sirens or car crashes in them as a way to get your attention. Robocalls. Bothering someone with something they paid for. The size of the X button on pop-up ads. Caller ID spoofing. Data caps on home internet. Socks, fits size 6 to 12. Bullshit. Selling textbooks at ridiculous prices. Hearing a honking sound in a radio commercial. Spice/K2/synthetic weed. This may have changed in the last few years, but I found it embarrassing that our country locks up thousands for actual marijuana but allowed that shit to be sold at every gas station and liquor store, knowing damn good and well that it was hurting and killing people. Impossibly hard to cancel subscriptions. You can look up where anyone lives because it's public record. But can we please not have entire websites with databases full of every person in the country? I mean, think about people who get denied restraining orders and try to move away from their abuser. 6 months later and their abuser can just look up their name and find them all over again. This could be detrimental for spouse abuse victims, stalking victims, etc. Something should be done about them. It's terrifying. Putting unrelated crap into bills to sneak it into law. I know they're supposed to follow some kind rules related to germaneness, but they clearly don't, and clearly need actual laws with actual punishments for pulling this crap. Payday loan practices. Technically not illegal, but hella predatory. Sweatshop labor outsourced by tech and Fortune 500 companies. It's essentially contemporary slavery we collectively allow. Multi-level marketing. Scam calls and solicitation calls. I swear they used to be illegal at one point. Civil asset seizure by police, no crimes needed. A parent keeping their kid from the other parent when there's no good reason to, and leveraging the courts to do it. The troubled teen industry. Parents pay a company to kidnap kids while they're sleeping and send them off to therapeutic boarding schools where they are abused in every conceivable way. It's fucked. Being penalized for calling out sick from work. Edit. Even while the whole world is trying to survive this pandemic, we're still dealing with this major issue by employers. I work in healthcare, and I feel like I get shamed by my managers and co-workers when you call out. Especially when you work night shift. Not the worst thing, but it used to be illegal for commercials on TV to be louder than the actual show, but not any longer suddenly. Puppy mills. Yes, some states they're still legal. And where they're illegal, irresponsible backyard breeders are legal. The trade blockade over NABU. Congress members being able to trade stocks at the same time they are receiving intelligence and passing laws that could affect the performance of said stocks. Child beauty pageants. Child marriage. Being forced to fork up your personal data and access to everything in your phone to use a stupid app that makes a picture of your dog sing. It should not be allowed at all. Edit. This applies to many apps. I didn't have just one in mind. Political action committees. For-profit prisons. Misleading potential employees in interviewing process. I've been duped once or twice. Advertisements for prescription medicine help patients lie to their doctors. Old legally blind folks driving cars. Groom your stepdaughter for over a decade, then when she's 18, divorce her mom and hook up with your stepdaughter. Sending letters to homeowners labeled important mortgage/financial info or last warning/notice and having the inside look exactly like a bill, letterhead, and little box in the corner with figures inside, all to then say refinance with us or don't miss this opportunity for etc. etc. Makes me heart skip every time thinking I've forgotten some critical bill until I open it. Civil asset forfeiture. It is un-American, legalized theft. You know how when you commit a crime and get caught, you get charged in the country where you committed the crime. So if you murder someone, you'll get charged in said country. And then there are the international waters. Every ship above 100 GT have to be registered, and if it's registered, the laws of the country where it's registered apply to the ship. But if you had a smaller boat, no laws apply. But if you killed someone on said ship, you'd be charged in the country where the person is a citizen, but there are ways someone can lose their citizenship in certain countries. And thereby, if I kill a citizenless person on a boat under 100 GT in international waters, even if there was evidence, no one can bring me to court, thereby, it's legal. Coworkers that don't shower. Permanently destroying huge areas of natural land. Nearby from where I live, there's a development corporation in my hometown that has bought up virtually all of the remaining woods, meadows, and wetlands in the area, paved them, and built retail spaces that go vacant just a few months later. Businesses aren't even moving into these places, but the group just keeps spreading out and developing. It seems like every month, I drive past another leveled tract of land. Frankly, it's terrible. Unskippable double ads. Marriage. Specifically a 14Y/O getting married to a 40Y/O with the parents' consent. That's just wrong. Our media driving a wedge between the populace to fuel division in order to satisfy ratings, purely for the purpose of entertainment and profit. Not facts. Motherfucking phone calls from telemarketers and salesmen. I get they are just trying to do a living, but if I block your phone once, don't call me on a new number arg. Dog ear cropping and cat declawing. Edit. I'm in the USA and a registered veterinary nurse. It's brutal. For-profit fucking prisons. LOL. What? No knock warrants. We've seen time and time again where law enforcement has the wrong address and some innocent person ends up dead because of a logistical mistake. Lying through your teeth on news shows because you claim you're actually entertainment. Even while it has news in the title of the station. Being able to lie through your teeth on an opinion show just BC, it's an opinion show. Opinions should be opinions about facts. Opinion should not be an excuse for slander or making knowingly false statements in the media. Underage marriage. If the parents say that it's okay for the girl to be married, they can be. Even worse, once the child is married, the spouse becomes the legal guardian, so they can't divorce them or any other guardian-related item until 18, and by then it could be too late. Big businesses lobbying politicians in order to get bills passed in their favor. Here in Canada, female genital mutilation is common in the Somali community. The police and the government are very aware of it, but because it's cultural, no one wants to stop it. It is still legal in Canada. Paying child support for a child that was conceived during an affair and isn't yours. Exploitation of nature, to the level that hurts everyone. Payday loans. Passing a shitload of bills wrapped up in one. In the US, people going bankrupt and losing their homes over medical bills. Unpaid internships, especially after graduating from college. They need money, not experience. Not exactly legal, but I think the vast majority of the world's population at this point would agree that animal cruelty needs to have much harsher punishments. Most people get off with a slap on the wrist and a small fine. HOAS. Being rude to someone who is just trying to do their job. US employers can do seriously horrible things and treat their employees like shit, all within the confines of the law. Prosecutors withholding evidence that can exonerate the accused so they can win a conviction. Ticket resale sites. They buy all the tickets using bots, then they can just resell them for more money. Isn't that legalized scalping? Not giving your employees emergency sick leave, PTO, etc. Because you have less than 15 employees, so by law you don't have to. As an employee, you also can't pursue legal action through the Disability Act, Coronavirus Relief Acts, or employment law, because the employer has less than 15 employees. My advice? Don't move to Florida. Mobile games that heavily revolve around spending money to make progress. As I sit here smoking cigarettes. Fuck cigarettes, and fuck big tobacco. No term limits for certain politicians. In certain states, police can have sex with you while you're in custody. Lobbying. Wages for full-time jobs that don't even cover basic living costs. Conversion therapy. Hey, let's make children hate themselves so much that they'll either lie about who they are for the smallest crumbs of validation or just commit suicide. Either way, that's one less gay to worry about. Now excuse me as I go throw up. Child genital mutilation. It's an absolutely disgusting thing to do to children, and in most countries it's still legal, or in some places and religions encouraged. The cost of healthcare in the US. My mom had a large grapefruit-sized bowel obstruction a few years ago and had to have emergency surgery to save her life. She followed that surgery with a 1-week stay in ICU and another 2 weeks in a regular room because the damage was so bad that they had to remove a lot of her colon/intestines and place a colostomy bag. Her bill was almost $1 million when all was said and done. And she didn't have insurance at the time, so that entire burden was on her and my dad. Our healthcare system is fucking atrocious, and frankly, embarrassing. Tabloid journalism. Little legal loopholes lawyers can use in courts. This is coming from an incoming law student who works at a law firm.